gamaya mrityorma amrutam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Oh, may the Divine lead us from the unreal to the real, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. Oh, peace, peace, peace.
I'm reading from the book Sister Nivedita, Pravar by Pravarajika Atmaprana. The chapter is With the Holy Mother. The mother's concern for Nivedita's welfare and her keen interest in her work in India and abroad was always a source of strength and inspiration to her. In 1900, when she was busy in America collecting funds for her school and for the proposed home for the girls, the mother wrote to her a letter which read, "May this letter carry all blessings. My dear love to you, baby daughter Nivedita. I am so glad to learn you have prayed to the Lord for my eternal peace. You are a manifestation of the ever blissful mother. I look at your photo which is with me every now and then, and it seems as if you are present with me. I long for the day and the year when you shall return. May the prayers you have uttered for me from the heart of your pure virgin soul be answered. I am well and happy. I always pray to the Lord that He might help you in your noble efforts and keep you strong and happy. I pray too for your quick return. May He fulfill your desires about the women's home in India, and may that would-be home fulfill its mission in teaching true dharma to all. He, the breath of the universe, is singing His own praise, and you are hearing that eternal song through things that will come to an end. The trees, the birds, the hills, and all are singing praise to the Lord. The banyan tree of Dakshineshwar sings of Kali to be sure, and blessed is he who has ears to hear it. My dear love to you, and blessings and prayers for your spiritual growth. You are doing good work indeed. But do not forget your Bengali, else I will not be able to understand you when you come back. It gave me such a delight to learn that you are speaking of Dhruva, Savitri, Sita, Rama, and so on there. The accounts of their holy lives are better than all the vain talk of the world, I am sure. Oh, how beautiful are the name and doings of the Lord, yours, Mother. Like the other disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, Nivedita was aware of the spiritual greatness and sainthood of the Holy Mother. One day in 1910, when Mrs. Sarah Bull was very ill, she went to a church in Boston. There, she saw Mother, Holy Mother, as the Madonna. On her return home, she noted down in her diary, went to church, saw Sarada Devi as Madonna. Her presence will sanctify, and wrote a letter to her immediately. Beloved Mother, this morning early I went to church to pray for Sarah. All the people there were thinking of Mary, the mother of Jesus. And suddenly I thought of you, your dear face and your loving look and your white sari and your bracelets. It was all there. And it seemed to me that yours was the presence that was to soothe and bless poor Sarah's sick room. And do you know, I thought I had been very foolish to sit in your room at the evening service to Sri Ramakrishna trying to meditate. Why didn't I not understand that it was quite enough to be a little child at your dear feet? Dear Mother, you are full of love. And it is not a flushed and violent love like ours, and like the world's, but a gentle peace that brings good to everyone and wishes ill to none. It is a golden radiance full of play. What a blessed Sunday that was, a few months ago, when I ran into you, the last thing before I went on the Ganges, and ran back to you for a moment. As soon as I came back, I felt such a wonderful freedom in the blessing you gave me and in your welcome home. Dearest Mother, I wish we could send you a wonderful hymn or a prayer, but somehow even that would seem too loud, too full of noise. Surely you are the most wonderful thing of God, Sri Ramakrishna's own chalice of his love for the world, a token left with his children. in these lonely days, and we should be very still and quiet before you, except indeed for a little fun. Surely the wonderful things of God are all quiet, stealing unnoticed into our lives. The air and the sunlight and the sweetness of gardens and of the Ganges, these are the silent things that are like you. Do send to poor Sarah the mantle of your peace. Isn't your thought now and then of the high calm that neither loves nor hates? Isn't that a sweet benediction that trembles in God like the dewdrop on the lotus leaf and touches not the world? Ever, my darling mother, your foolish cookie, Nivedita. Yes.
Now a short period of meditation. Good morning. We are in the Christmas season now, not far from Christmas Day of 25th or Christmas Eve of 24th December. So today we thought of thinking about Mother Mary, Mother of God, the most powerful woman in the world. That's how Mother Mary is described by the history. So such a powerful woman, but not much written in Bible of her glories, of her power, of her guidance as the Divine Mother. The churches, especially the Catholic, they adore, they revere Mother, but do not exactly adore her as the Divine Mother. But there are devotees who look upon Mother Mary as divine, as God. Repeat her name, see her in vision, are guided by her, and attain their spiritual fulfillment or get their worldly wishes done by the blessing of Mother Mary. We know from the Bible how Mother Mary came to conceive Jesus. And from Luke to say this, in the 6th month, the angel Gabriel was sent from God to a city of Galilee named Nazareth, to a virgin betrothed to a man whose name was Joseph, of the house of David. And the virgin's name was Mary. And he came to her and said, "Hail, O favored one, the Lord is with you." She was just betrothed, not married. And she already had conceived, and it was 6th month. And now, after that was done, she was afraid. How before marriage I got conceived. It was a not perfect thing done in the society at the time, you can imagine. So she was afraid, but the angel said to her, "Do not be afraid, Mary, for you have found favor with God. And behold, you will conceive in your womb and bear a son, and you shall call his name Jesus." First, the angel asked her, it was told to Mother Mary to keep her son's name as Jesus. But later on, it was told to Joseph that keep your son's name as Jesus. First mother, Matri Devo Bhava, even in this tradition. And Mary said to the angel, "How shall this be, since I have no husband?" And the angel said to her, "The Holy Spirit will come upon you, and the power of the Most High will overshadow you. Therefore, the child to be born will be called Holy, the Son of God." And later on, Jesus says, not very frequently, it is not very emphasized in the Christianity, that I and my Father are one. That's why the song, the Mother Mary, the Mother of God, that perfectly resonates. Jesus proclaimed himself that it is God born. And according to that custom, God cannot be born. So more was said like Avatara, incarnation in our Hinduism and Vedanta. In Christianity became Son of God. Itself, that was a big thing that Jesus proclaimed. Before that, there was no concept of God being born as son or daughter or as any part. All were the prophets. There were human beings specially chosen to take ahead the work of God, to disseminate the spirituality, to give the message that they got through the angels to the humanity. That was the role of the prophets. Now here is a man who is born and who says that I am the Son of God. I am the part and parcel of God. I am the one with Father. And such person to be born from the womb of mother, the mother has to be divine. And in the case of Jesus, as there is no other spiritual concern, other spiritual feminine form who will assist him like Sita, Radha or Yasodhara or Parvati, here it is Mother Mary, the God, divine power of God in the form of mother, not in the form of spouse, that has come in with Jesus. That is the belief of particularly the Vedantist and also Christian also believe that she is the saint. They take up to the saint, holy person, human being. Even Jesus is said that way, human being, Son of God. So, but has the divine power. Of course, for a Vedantist, when God comes in the world in the human form, He is a human being with all human qualities and yet has divine spiritual manifestation that cannot be easily done by ordinary human beings or even by saints and sages. Those have the power, spiritual power of God, which can influence vast majority of people and influence for a longer time in the existence in the history, and they remain immortal in the lives, in the hearts of the humanity as such, for the ages together, and they are the divine incarnations of God. For a Vedantist to proclaim Jesus as God Himself, Swami Vivekananda said, me as a Hindu, there is no other way than to see Jesus as God Himself. Jesus, for Vedantists, is God incarnate. And Mother Mary, of course, Divine Mother herself. So, Mother Mary, not what is written in the Bible, that's ancient source, but we can find out from that. So how she was chosen, you are the most favored, that's it. So slowly she will find a divinity in that. And it was very customary, it was very difficult. When Joseph knew that she was already pregnant, Mother Mary was pregnant, she thought of divorcing her. Decided to divorce her. How can a pregnant woman be married? He was also from a respectable family. And then one night he dreams that an angel comes in the dream and says, don't do that. There is a special purpose. It is by God's will that she has been pregnant. And the son will be born from her a holiness will be born, the Son of God, and you shall call him Jesus. This dream was revelation, and he totally accepts that dream and gets married to Mary. The wedding was done to Mary. But when we know that how, then Mary, what happened after that? She was found pregnant, and everybody knew. Then she was sent. In fact, herself. It said. In those days, Mary arose from the Bible, Luke 1:39-56. In those days, Mary arose and went with haste into the hill country to a city of Judah, and she entered the house of Zechariah and greeted Elizabeth. And when Elizabeth heard the greeting of Mary, the babe leaped into her womb. Elizabeth was a cousin of Mary. She was asked to go there. And the Elizabeth, who was already aged, she had also conceived by the will of God. And John the Baptist was supposed to be born. Blessed are you, young woman, Elizabeth said, and blessed is the fruit of your womb. And why is this granted me, that the mother of my Lord should come to me? How these people were all had the divine power. How could she understand that God is there in the womb of Mary? For behold, when the voice of her greeting came to my ears, the babe in my womb leaped for joy. And blessed is she who believed that there would be a fulfillment of what was spoken to her from the Lord. And Mary said, my soul magnifies the Lord, and my spirit rejoices in God my Saviour, for he has regarded the low estate of his handmaiden. For behold, henceforth all generations will call me blessed. For he who is mighty has done great things for me, and holy is his name, and his mercy is on those who fear him from generation to generation. He has shown strength with his arm. He has scattered the proud in the imagination of their hearts. All glory of God, she is saying, by being the mother of Jesus. Now we all know how he was told that they have to register, that there was a counting of people, and their ancient home was in Bethlehem, Joseph's ancient home was in Bethlehem, so he had to go and register the number they were population counting, and he went there. Mary was pregnant, and there she was in the labor pain. And no hotel was there, no inn was free, all were booked up where they will go. They went somehow found a manger where something was there, and the grass was collected, some animals were there, and there was Jesus born. The Lord of the universe being born in a manger. Very humble. It happens almost many cases. What happened to Krishna? Krishna was born in jail when Mother Devaki was in jail, and when Krishna was born, they thought it's ordinary person, though there was already prophecy was there, and Lord shows himself that Though I am a baby, but I am God Himself is born. So here also Jesus is born. In case of Sri Ramakrishna, who was to move the world and show the light to the world, the changing, ever-changing, new, modern world, to be shown the light of harmony of religion and the religious practice and true spirituality and the purity of conduct was to be shown. Where was he born? In a remote village in Bengal, Kamarpukur. And where was he born? In a husking machine, in the room. Where was the husking machine kept? Not in even the room. That was the custom. People were, when they were giving birth, it was not in the room where they lived that the child was born. No hospital was there. It was born where just secluded from the house. Just people used it to crush paddy to gain rice grains. So there was Sri Ramakrishna born, obscure place, like Jesus was born on the manger. And when Sri Ramakrishna was born, he was not to be found. Where did he go? Just now born, he was crying, not even now crying at all. So later on found where the boy went just after being born. They found where they used to have burned the wood for making heat for boiling the rice before husking it. There in the ashes, he had gone and eaten there. Slowly, the one nurse who was tending to the birth found out in case of Sri Ramakrishna. Here, when Jesus was born, there were few to notice that the great mover of the world, the light of the world is born so obscure, so unnoticed, and that was Mother Mary's son. Now after Jesus was born, they remained there, and first thing Mother Mary did was to take him to the temple. Big temple in Jerusalem. From Bethlehem, Jerusalem is not very far away. It's a walking distance. From Nazareth, Jerusalem, Bethlehem is quite far. They have to walk many days. And she was on donkey, like that. But from Bethlehem, Jerusalem is not far. So the baby was brought on the 8th day of his birth to the temple to be blessed by God. And there were some other people who took them in her arm and said, "Oh, I was waiting for God to come." One person said. He was very devout, pure, holy person. And he had some prophecy, some angel said to him that God will be born, the Savior will be born. And he said, he took him in his arm and then said, "My life's purpose is done. Now I can die peacefully." Another woman said, "Oh, this is going to be the mover of the world. People will follow him," like another lady said. So there were two persons who already proclaimed the greatness of Jesus when he was just 8 days old. And after that, the Jewish custom of circumcision was done, and Jesus grew as a Jew boy, following the traditions of Judaism. Mother was devout Jew, Mother Mary. She started teaching him the stories and the things of the religion. Very devout she was, as we can understand from when she heard that God is coming, the mercy of God, blessedness of God. She was fully, totally diluted in the praise of God that He Himself has sent His own Son. That is how the Bible proclaims that the Son of God has come, holiness has come, who is going to move the whole world. Now Jesus was grown, and when they used to come every year to the temple in the Passover time, Joseph and Mary and the Jesus and boy used to bring all this. And like that, when they came, and when he was 12 years old, he came with the parents, and after worship was done, Passover celebration was over, the parents, many group from whole village had come. They were returning. At the end of the day, when they had gone quite far, mother saw that Jesus is not to be found. So he searched here and there, Joseph searched, he was not to be found. Then they had to come back to Jerusalem. And they searched here and there for 3 days. 3 days they had to search, and finally they found him in the temple. And what he was doing? He was not worried, he was not crying. Of course he was 12 years old. He was busy listening to the discussion of the scriptures done in the temple by the scholars. And not only listening, he was inputting the things, that your answer should be like that. And people are amazed with his knowledge, with his explanation, with his questioning. He was busy. Then mother saw Jesus busy with the scholars discussing the scriptures of Judaism. And she came near him. Son, you are here? You didn't think about us? And how that you didn't go with us? You gave us so much trouble to us. Didn't you think we will be pained without you? We are searching for you for 3 days. Then Jesus, that thing was very important. Mother, why you served me here and there? Didn't you know that I will be in my Father's home? That was Father's home. Temple where God is worshipped is the home of his Father. That's what he meant. You should have come straight here. How, Mother Mary, you were told everything by the angel that the divine person will be born in your womb, and how totally forgot that it is ordinary boy. That is the power of Maya. When Holy Mother Sarada Devi was asked, Mother, do you always remember that you are divine? That you are divine Mother? Mother said, how can that be done? If you are always aware of your divinity, then how you relate to the world and worldly people? You will not be touched at all, not affected at all, not related, not be kind, not be able to guide, because you are divine, not touched by the world. She herself is creator. But Mother said, not we always remember that our divinity, but whenever we want, whatever moment we want, we go back to the status of our divine nature. Mother Mary also, by the power of Maya, though she herself is the divine mother, we respect her like that, but she forgot that it is God's own Son, or God Himself, the divine holy person that is born as her Son. And she was searching here and there and worried where my Son had gone. That's why Jesus reminds, didn't you know that I will be here? Before that, in one of the Gospels of Bible, it is said that when Jesus was born, 3 wise men came and the ruler and told Herod, Herod was a very tyrannical ruler of Israel at that time, Roman ruler, tyrannical. And when he heard that king is born, because 3 wise men first went to king, the Herods, and informed that one king is born here, will be savior, that Herod. But now afraid someone is born who is my competitor. So always this feeling of competition creates fear in you. And what he did, because he was tyrannical, because he was very cruel king, he ordered that all children under the age of 2 should be killed near Bethlehem. It was before 8 years or 12 years of age, or that was before incident. And here in the Mary and Joseph, again the angel come and said, something wrong is going to be, you take Jesus to Egypt. And you remain there until you are again told to come back. So they take him to Egypt, all the way to Egypt, and remain there. And when Herod died here, then again in dream came, and Jesus came here. And after that, the story of 12 years of age, when it was done that. These are the little incidences we have with Mary and Jesus together. Mary is not very much described. It's always Jesus is the main figure in the Bible, in particular New Testament, and everything revolves around Jesus, so Mary is not there. A few other incidents are there with Mary. Once there was a wedding in Cana in Israel, in Galilee, and there all family members of Jesus had been invited. Jesus had also gone. Mary, Joseph. Jesus had many brothers also through Mary. Mary and Joseph had many other children besides Jesus. So, like 4 siblings, sons and many sisters, it is described. So the numbers are not given. 4 sons and many sisters, other than Jesus, were born to Joseph and Mary. So they all had gone, and suddenly there were some relatives. They found that wine was finished. And wine is one of the very important thing in the wedding in those society. And wine is finished, this family seems to be little known to Mary. Somehow Mary came, and how to rescue them, and that is one of the very important things that you have to serve to the guests that are invited in wedding. Some marriage, some wedding was there. Now Mary came to Jesus and said, "Son, now they are out of wine, please do something." Jesus said, "What I have to do?" But Mary knew Jesus can't do it. You cannot go in the buy and from market, there is no wine to be found anywhere. Now, how Mary knew before no miracle was done by Jesus? This was the first miracle that Jesus will do. So then Jesus, and she asked, she said, "What can I do for this? Wine is finished." But not listening to paying heed to what Jesus said, Mary ordered the servants to do whatever Jesus said, do that. Then Jesus said to them, "Fill up the stone jars with water." There are a few jars that filled with water. And now Jesus said, "Take this to the ceremony." And people poured that, and it was all oil. So water was converted to wine. That was the miracle that Jesus had done. So there is one joke like this. Some person was driving and police caught him and said, "Drunk and driving?" He said, "No." And there was one bottle there. And said, "Can I see the bottle?" Near the driver. So, "Can I see the bottle?" Said, "Yes." He took the bottle and smelled. "What do you smell here?" The policeman gives it to the driver. And the driver smells, looks up and says, "Oh Lord, you did again this thing?" And she again turned, "I was drinking water and turned into wine. I didn't know that. I thought I was drinking water. Oh Lord, you again did this." So I don't know, I was just drinking water. If Jesus had done something, so call him, he that fall. I am that is the saying. So like that, Jesus' miracles started. And it was mother who didn't know about the divinity, but here she was aware of the divinity of the Jesus. And we know that after that there is a story that there were by Jesus miracle. There were sometimes loaf were few, and he got lot of loaves and fishes. There were only 2 fishes, and by 2 fishes there became so many fish that everybody in the party could be fed. Like that is the thing. Jesus came back to village many times, and after his prayer in the wilderness for many years, he came back, and first he came to the Nazareth, his own village, and he started preaching there. And when he started saying something great, some people welcomed him, but other people said that it doesn't tally with our teaching. And Jesus proclaimed him to be the Savior, into the all holiness, divinity, all came forth through him. It was the time when his mission had started to preach unto the world what for he was born, for what he has taken the body. But people didn't like that of his own village. Didn't like that. To that extent, he had to come out of the village. Even some Gospels say some people even tried to kill him there because he was talking, people thought, against the scriptures, someone becoming so great. And Jesus said, this is how the world is. In the world, prophet is not recognized in his country and not by his persons who know him. In Bengali we say, Gyo Jogi Bhik Payana. The sannyasi, the monk, doesn't get alms in his own village. Because they say, oh, you are the same person like that. Why? You are not great. People don't understand the greatness to which the Jesus has rose. So they said that the prophet does not recognize in the village. And a prophet is not without honor, except in his own country and among his own kin and in his own house. That's what the Jesus had said. So prophet is for the whole world. That's people make difficult. It's difficult for them to understand the same carpenter's son who was playing here. Jesus, he's become such a great prophet and he's preaching such wonderful things. So we will just turn him out. That type of violent reaction sometimes happens. So it was very tough for Mary to see his son going away from that, and then he's staying with his disciples. Then he went to disciples started coming to him. like Peter, Paul, all started coming to him and he said, I will make you, they were mostly the fishermen first, said, I will make you the fishers of men. You don't have to catch fish, and there was some miracle shown that Jesus walked on water and all that. That's what the song said. Beautiful song sang in the beginning. Jesus will walk on the water, will make the eloquent speak, will make the deaf hear, will make the blind see, will make the dead rise. But all those are physically one thing. We can take it spiritually also. Those blind can see. That's also, let me go from darkness to light. That type of thing. Seeing the reality behind this unreal changing world that you can see. Opening the eyes of the blind. We are all blind in that sense. Making the people who are dumb understandable. We don't understand the reality. Making us understand reality. That was the role of Jesus, which is shown as example in the physical world. But in the spiritual world, it has a deeper meaning, that whatever it was sung in the song. Maybe another was saying that at the crucifixion, in one of the Gospel by John, in one of the 4 Gospels, only the mother is said to be there, present at the time of Jesus' crucifixion. So it must be very hard for mother to see son who was so great, who knew all divinity, all his goodness, all his love for mother, that being tormented, tortured for no sin of him, no crime of him, just by the system that they did, and it was very difficult for her. And when she was taken to the place of crucifixion, mother also went with him, and she was there when he was with her. And Jesus saw mother, and some disciples were there, and he said, "Oh woman, see John is your son, John is there, and you are his mother." So like that, he made the relation between mother and other children. So Mother Mary, in fact, became like the mother of disciples. And she went there, she saw Jesus' resurrection when Jesus came back. First Mother Mary saw, and his disciples also saw. So he fostered the relation between how Mother Mary will be taken care of after he is gone. That also he made sure. So this is the life of Mother Mary, that much we find in the Gospel, nothing more than that. But Mother Mary had a definite case in our Vedantic study. We see her as Divine Mother. So though in Roman Catholic teaching she is the Blessed Virgin Mary, she is venerated but not truly adored. But Mother Mary is adored by many. How people feel that Guadalupe was the incarnation of Divine Mother Mary in many places. There are many celebrations done around Mother Mary. Mother Mary is always there. As far as in the Ramakrishna mission is concerned, we feel like she is universal mother because she was the power behind bearing the God himself in the form of Jesus. Jesus was the divine Christ, who some says recently the ancient vision of cosmic power of Christ as Pantocrator has been renewed and offered in alliance with modern science by such thinkers as Teilhard de Chardin. There is not only a divine Christ and human Christ, but a cosmic Christ. Christ made into a cosmic reality, one with God. Even this thought is coming, which is akin to the Vedantic thoughts. What about the cosmic mother then? So Mother Mary is in the form of a cosmic mother. Motherhood requires some qualities, like she has to give birth to the universe, so that's what we find in, and she has to be very enduring, forgiving, loving all, and all those qualities we find immensely developed in Mother Mary. So that's why for us, when we worship Jesus on Christmas Eve, we have Madonna with child. We worship Jesus and also Mother Mary as equal manifestation of Divine Mother. When Sri Ramakrishna had the vision of Jesus, he saw that suddenly the Mother Mary and Jesus, mother became living, and in her lap the Jesus baby child also became living, and he went into Samadhi. That's how in Vedantic concept we always find that Mother Mary is one with the Divine Mother. That is our saying. To conclude, I will just quote from a very famous writer, Edith Dean. So, Edith Dean says, adoration of her, that is Mary, is ageless, classless, raceless, and timeless. Each nation where the Christian message lives thinks of both the Madonna and child as their own. Her face may carry the features of the Southern European in one great painting, the Ethiopian in another, and the Oriental in another. We find great representations of the Madonna up and down Europe, Asia, Africa, North America, South America. In fact, everywhere that the New Testament has shed its light. So Mother Mary is not worshipped only by the Christians. She is regarded by Mother, those who follow Vedanta. For us, Mother Mary is the Divine Mother who has come in the form of Mother of God herself. Not this time, the Divine Mother didn't come as the spouse, but as the Mother of God. So we seek the blessing of Jesus, Mary, and of course, Swami and Buddha on this auspicious occasion of Christmas that will follow in a few days.